Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger comic book review. This is episode 100.
100?
Wow.
You mean
I'm on
400.
Frontline Live. 411. 411.
Look at that.
I'm on Frontline still.
The 411, eh?
I'm waiting for the 541. Remember the Power Rangers song?
Oh.
The 541. Anyway, and we're here. We've got 26
I believe.
books. The heavy weeks are still coming. Now, for those of you that didn't catch my whole video on Comic Frontline, I'm just going to catch you up to speed really quick. We're doing a lightning round again, by the way, with our books. I'm not setting a timer up this week, though. Really quickly, what's happening right now? What's up, Tevia? Man, you are up late, but that is good. That is all good and fine. So what we're going to be doing for the time being, our pile of books is going to be pretty hefty. Venomverse, Metal, Legacy is about to start. I mean, Legacy literally is the one shot to kick everything off. Came out today, this Wednesday. We're talking about books from last Wednesday. The books in this review were released on
September 20th, 2017.
Right, so that's last Wednesday's book. And we have the last two generations books that came out today, which will be the last week of September. And we also have Legacy's one shot. We have Metal continuing. We've got the Metal one shot. We've got Venomverse continuing. Venomverse is not ending, I believe, until the second week of October-ish. But then again, we are in Legacy. There are a lot of Legacy books between October and November. And there's a lot of books that we're already reading. So it's going to be hefty piles for a while. That rhymed.
Yep.
I didn't even try. So what's going to happen is usually we review our books on Monday. We have a lot of books. And I'm going to tell you guys know this. We get our books on Friday. We do start our digital reading on Wednesdays or Thursdays. But I don't want to super rush through the books because then it's going to become really hectic. I remember when remember a few years ago when we had hefty piles, and it really wore on me, and that's what was leading me to want to, conclude these reviews at 400, maybe even before 400. So what I decided to do instead is, instead of doing the reviews on Monday, our initial thoughts on our top 5 books will be on Frontline Live, and then on Wednesday, after Media Madness, if we can control it, which we could this week, we're going to do the Dark Avenger comic book review on here. It's not permanent. This is a temporary move until our pile. First of all, we have to see what Legacy books we want to keep. Second of all, once we get out of Venomverse and Metal, which Metal is ending by the end of the year, I would say this is going to be the schedule probably through till December-ish, maybe a little bit further, maybe January. But once we get into the new year and once things start to settle down, obviously Doomsday Clock is going to start up, and we'll have an event, but it's a one-shot. It's not a one-shot. It's a once-a-month book, so it's like one extra book compared to with all the other books we're already reading. But Venomverse will be over. Legacy will be basically in the works. It'll be moving forward already. And Generations will be over. And so will Metal. Metal will have its own line by then. Our books will basically thin out a little bit more to the point where we'll be able to give you guys the reviews on Monday again. Believe me, if we got our books on Wednesday, if we were able to read them from Wednesday to Friday, I'd get you guys a review on Monday easy. Right now, things are hectic. And then you got to also put into consideration Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Things are going to get busy. So I figured make the move now so you guys are used to us doing this on Wednesday instead of always on Wednesday saying, sorry, we're late. Sorry, we're late. Wednesday's the definitive day. For now, I know I'm talking about this too much. I'm going to stop right here, but I hope you guys are cool. I hope you guys understand, hectic schedule, holidays, lots of books. I mean, easily we could just cut our review down to 10 books from each of Michael and myself, and you guys would probably have it on Monday, but then you wouldn't get the full-fledged review like what we want to do. So we decided to give you guys the right type of review. We decided to do it this way. So without further ado, and repeating myself over and over and over and over again, the digital indies first. Go Power Rangers issue number 3.
Yeah.
It is 3. All right, 3. I really enjoyed this book. We're doing lightning round, by the way. I enjoyed this book. I like that there's this thing between Trinity and Jason. I really like that Trinity has like this crush on Jason, and you see that she wants to train with him all the time. It's her way of, thank you for understanding, Tevia. It's her way of getting closer to him. You see how the team is dealing with the post events of, Day at the Dumpster. You've got Rita's agent on Earth looking for the Power Rangers to figure out who the real, where the Power Rangers are. Kimberly's dealing with issues with her boyfriend. Now being a Ranger, she's not around as often as she was before. So now, they're at a rough patch. And Billy now, who is being bullied all the time, now Jason steps in and kind of starts to protect Billy more. I really enjoy it. I like it. I'm really digging it. I did not expect to like it, but Go-Go Power Rangers is an excellent companion to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I would definitely recommend it. The way they marketed it, I understand and I agree. They are showing us more of the high school side than the Ranger side. But honest to God, guys, it really feels like a great Power Ranger book. It's still Power Rangers. It's not like, oh, this is Billy, just being Billy, and we are going to ignore the fact that he's the Blue Ranger. No, we're getting Billy, and we're getting him as... It's basically the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers kind of opposites. The regular side of their lives are the main attraction, while being Power Rangers maybe gets 1 or 2 pages, and then it goes back to their normal lives. And I like that. It fleshes out the characters a lot more for me, too. Your turn. I only have 1 digital indie this week. It's hilarious. I truly did.
Samurai Jack, Quantum Jack, issue number 1, is the horrible, worst book I have read this week. And possibly the worst book of the year for me. The artwork was atrocious. And the story, I couldn't even basically understand the story with all that artwork. It was just, I opened the book and I was like saying, okay, maybe this is artwork of what they did from the past. But no, it was like throughout the whole story. It was very just atrocious. That's all I could say. And I just couldn't really, I got through this book in like 10 minutes. I don't know how I got through that whole story and with that artwork, but no. I will definitely not come back for issue number 2.
I don't blame you.
After reading that, oh God, just do not buy. Recommendation to not buy. Getting into something a little bit better, we have Big Trouble. I almost said Big Brother, actually. Big Trouble in Little China, Old Man Jack. This is a new volume of Big Trouble in Little China of issue number 1, where Jack Burton is now an old person. And to be honest, and this is what really gets to me. Like,
is this after season 5? No, I think it's its own story. The Quantum Samurai Jack.
It is.
It's its own story, Tevia.
Just don't buy it. Yeah. But yeah. So with Big Trouble in Little China, we get introduced.
Are you happy it's back?
I am actually happy it is back. Yeah. It talks about this god of the demons, Chingmi or whatever. I don't know what it was. So Jack gets a call from this woman who says that she's attracted, saying that I need help from you. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, something's up here. Like, because you kind of get that instinct a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he goes through all these things. And what I like about him is that he tried going through like these terror rooms and stuff like that. And he's like saying, oh, this is just namby-pamby stuff. And he just goes through it like no other. So he gets to the woman.
Go get a drink,
yeah. So he gets to the woman. And guess what? It was a trick. David Lopan,
I thought you were going to say David Lopez for some weird reason.
No, Lopan. I think his name is that. The old nemesis of Jack Burton is back in the story. I kind of had the feeling, I'm like saying, wait a minute, this is going to be a trap, or am I just really going to believe there's this attractive woman because she kept saying, I'm attractive, come help me. I knew that it was going to be a setup, but wow, just something else with that book. Bill and Ted Save the Universe, issue number 4 of 5. This is the one more part until we finish Bill and Ted. And what this book is that Bill and Ted are breaking up with the Wild Stallions. Why? Because Ted wants to stay with his wife and kids and doesn't want to go off fighting against, or not fighting, to be on the tour with Bill. Bill doesn't really like that very much, and then there's just like a little thing going on between the two of them, of how they're going to work this out, if they're going to work this out. And then you get Deegan, who's working with Glum, however you say the name, and he's having his old self of a good time, but then he gets possessed by certain something, and that actually affects him because when Bill and Ted said that they want to return to Earth, well, it looks like that they're not going to go to Earth of a welcome. Well, they have a welcome wagon, and it's not the good kind because Deegan, now that he is possessed, is actually waiting for them, and he's like saying, "Party on, dudes." Oh boy, hell is going to break loose in the next and concluding issue, and like I said, to be totally concluded in the next one. And there were lots of other stuff, but I want you guys to definitely read it. It was like really involved, but mainly that's the basics of what you will read when you pick up this issue. Now, the Secret Weapons issue number 4. Now, this, it says for now, after this issue, that Secret Weapons is to be continued or something for now in the end. I remember it saying something. But anyway, for Secret Weapons, Livewire is being kidnapped by oh, what was the name now? I hate when I forget names, and I looked it over before this review. Someone that was holding Livewire captive. But anyway, she declares herself as the Secret Weapon. That's why it's called Secret Weapons. So Nikki and the guy, like they're going off on their mission, trying to find out more about the information about how to save Livewire, or more along lines of where they're going. Nikki almost dies in this comic book because with the thing that the hero, I think it was on the neck actually, and the guy who really loved her like didn't like it, so she says to save Avi. Now Avi's the guy with the thing on his head. I think he's the Muslim guy, but anyway, he saves him from drowning underwater. And everything is now back as a trio team. Livewire gets out of the trap with like all these things that she has and made a gun, breaks out, and basically kills the person that was under. And I can't believe I forgot the name, but as of now, we got the quad team that's together on their next mission, and I guess Secret Weapons is going to be a little bit on hiatus until the next issue, or maybe a new volume, because I forgot what's in the end. Like, I think it's it's like the end for now, or to be continued for now. I can't really.
For now usually means a new volume will come up later on.
Probably for now, yeah. Bloodshot Salvation, issue number 1. I really wanted to give this issue a try. I wanted to see how Bloodshot having a child was going to be a big part of the story. And basically, it's the daughter and the mom who's like running away from people who are chasing them. And of course, the daughter has nanites. Then it goes to the past where you see, I forgot Bloodshot's name. Do you remember Bloodshot's name?
No.
Well, he actually wants to help with magic because the father's calling her and he wanted to know who it was. So the father wants her to go back to him. And there's like a whole big controversy where he wanted to be Bloodshot to kill him. And then Magic says, no, you shouldn't do that again because of all this stuff that happened. So she actually prevented him from being Bloodshot. But when it went back to the mother and the daughter, Bloodshot's not there because she wants to tell the daughter that he's dead. But I don't think that's the thing. I think that he is doing the whole Bloodshot thing again.
And he just left the family.
And he just left the family, and he doesn't want the daughter to know that she's affected with nanites. And also, I think it was Uncle Rampage who came in the last issue to see the daughter. So things are going to be heated up there. And yes, Tevia, Bloodshot's daughter is so cute.
She's adorable!
Well, we're getting to the adorable later on in the review.
Invincible 140. This entire book could be summed up as this. Mark versus Tharg. That literally is the entire fight. A robot tries to jump in. Rex tries to help out Mark a bit. The fight gets brutal. Obviously, we all know, kind of spoiler alert here, Tharg gets defeated. Mark is in critical condition. And now, as it says here, part 9, things take a dark turn as we near the end. So
wait a minute, near the end. What issue is it concluding on again?
Part 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 more issues.
3 more issues?
Well, 4 more, because part 9 is still has to come out. This is part 8.
So it's ending in December.
4 more
right?
issues. So we're in September, October, November, December, January. It's
January.
Unless they double up. They might double up and end in December.
I remember you said something, I think, in December.
They might. They might.
But
Invincible was an excellent book. I really am enjoying it. I hate seeing Invincible go. I wish he would trick us, and be like, oh, I was just kidding. We're gonna start it over, change the title.
Well, they might. You never know.
I don't know. I would hope so. I really don't want to see Invincible go, but it's kind of like I didn't want to see Chew go either. I didn't want to see Lock and Key go. They all had endings. Yeah. They all had definitive endings. And obviously Robert Kirkman has this set as a definitive ending. And because okay. All
right, so all these are your
Space Ghost. Now I did find out Future Quest is changing. Issue number 6 is going to become Birdman. So it is Future Quest is literally spotlighting characters for story arc. So the Space Ghost story arc is how we're starting. But after that, we're going into something different then. I enjoyed this arc. They went down into the tunnels. They go through all these mazes, and they talk about how the Space Command, they were having trouble, and they find out why. And they find this one Space Commander who died years ago. They get introduced to the villain, and they get taken prisoner. We get a couple of nice flashbacks, both with Jan and Jace and their parents. And also we get a flashback of what happened to the recovery crew that was there to recover the gems. I liked it. I really did like it. Now I didn't put it, but I'm gonna group it together. I want to I'll throw an honorable mention. It's not gonna be on the list, so if you're looking on the list now, it's not there. And I'm gonna get to this then. Invincible Iron Man this week was a really great segue.
Do you remember the issue number?
Into the quest to find Tony Stark, because we find out he's in a medically induced coma. He needs to get taken out of it, or else they're going to lose him forever. Now Riri has to go and find Tony. The only reason I didn't put this in my review was, again, I'm not a Riri fan, and this is technically the end of her run, because I believe the next run is going to be the quest to find Tony, and then possibly him coming back to Invincible Iron Man, or Invincible Iron Man turning into Ironheart, and then we get an Iron Man book. Obviously, this is going to take several issues, so we're going to probably go into the new year before we get Tony back anyway. So, again, awesome book. Now, the reason I bring that up is because Totally Awesome Hulk is ending. This is issue number 23. This is the end of the Totally Awesome Hulk. Totally Awesome Hulk is changing to Incredible Hulk, starting with the next issue. Amadeus Cho is now realizing it is more of a curse than a gift to be the Hulk. And he finally, the symbolism that started way back in issue number 1 of Totally Awesome Hulk finally comes out. And we see Amadeus coming face to face with the Hulk that he locked away in the trunk of a car. And he sees that no matter how hard he tries, he cannot control the Hulk forever. And he does start to lose control. And I like that they brought in a lot of his friends, Silk, and they had Black Panther in there, his sister. Oh, God, why did the other person leave my mind at the moment? Captain Marvel, was it? Yes, no, not Captain Marvel. Miss Marvel. And they all went into Amadeus' mind to help him, to help talk with the Hulk. And Amadeus sees that it's not going to happen. So he had a plan within a plan. So obviously his original plan wasn't working. So he had Black Panther shoot him up into space. And I have to agree with Amadeus' sister. Dude, the last time we shot a Hulk into space, we had World War Hulk when Banner came back. What's going to happen when Amadeus comes back? But it's a good segue into Incredible Hulk. I will be getting both Invincible Iron Man, the Legacy issue, and the Incredible Hulk, the Legacy issue, for obviously the lenticular covers. We'll see what stays physical, what goes digital, what goes completely. Venomverse issue number 3. Oh, dear Lord. So they're losing the war, the Venoms. So they need a murderer. So they bring in Carnage. And yeah, that's not exactly the smartest thing to do. But I I don't know how I feel. I'm not. See, this is why I knew I'd feel this way. And this is why I went with Batman Metal over Venomverse, because I knew that this series was just not going to hold me, and it's not. And bringing Carnage in, it's like, we can't do this on our own. Let's bring Carnage in. And Carnage isn't one to be trusted anyway. And they get Doctor Strange, Venomized Doctor Strange on their team now. Deadpool's on their team now. I'm going to watch it to the end, but man, oh man. What's up, Brian? Spaceboy227. What's up, man? Welcome to the Dark Avenger comic review. I can talk. Great to have you on here, man. Speaking of bad segues, we had two good segues. Let's talk about a bad segue.
Oh, and someone else, Kyle Walker.
The Uncanny Prince. He is Prince Kyle Walker.
Okay, well, excuse me, I forgot.
That is Prince Kyle. You address him correctly.
Say what now?
Smite him. Smite him, Kyle. Smite him.
He's cooking something up.
So, now I enjoyed Totally Awesome Hulk. I enjoyed Invincible Iron Man. And Totally Awesome Hulk I read because of Weapon X, and I've enjoyed it. Invincible Iron Man I have not read. I literally read this issue because it's the segue into the Legacy renumbering. XMen Gold issue number 12 was a waste of a segue, because in this issue, all you get is, remember that mutant that was with the makeshift Brotherhood of Evil Mutants? We found out he was an alien already. Well, we get his backstory here. The entire book is his backstory. All of this, the whole book. And then there's the weirdest segue. It ends with him running off into the world. So obviously now he's waiting to be picked up. The Prince of South Islands. There you go. See, the Prince of South Islands, New Zealand. Bitch.
You didn't say
I'm sorry, he's Kite Man. We're gonna get to Kite Man. We'll wait for that. But anyway, the segue goes into Mogo, who obviously we all know Mogo likes to break the fourth wall. So he talks about a legacy epic crossover that has Astonishing and Uncanny, Blue and Gold as well, because obviously it's going to be going into Astonishing X-Men and Blue and Gold as well. So, what a waste of an issue. Wow, Tevye, you said it right as I was going to say it. It was a waste of an entire issue. If I was to tell anyone you want to skip an X-Men Gold issue, and I've been loving X-Men Gold. This is the first issue in 12 issues that I can definitely 100% say you don't need it unless you want the background of that character that no one cared about anyway. I didn't care. Okay. I didn't care.
Jean Grey issue number 7.
Didn't care.
Came out.
That I care about more.
Yes.
I didn't care about that.
Yeah, and this issue is actually really good. Like, it's Jean Grey who teams up with Scarlet Witch, and Jean is trying to fight off against the future Jean, with what's going on, and she's still trying to fight the Phoenix and everything. But I like the artwork though in this issue. The artwork was really good. And there was some mixed reviewers. Like, some liked it and some didn't like it. To me, I'm really liking the whole story about how she's using her powers, but trying not to use it in anger. She's trying to use it for good and stuff like that. But this was a really amazing issue, and I believe and what really made me happy though,
don't bend the book,
is that I was going to
don't bend the book.
Was when the Spirit Gene went into Ember Frost. That made me smile from ear to ear, and hopefully that will be a good thing. Because to be honest, who would want to be in Ember Frost? I don't even know who. I don't even know why. But hopefully she'll burn her insides, and we could all be happy. Because I don't like
so violent. We're so violent.
I don't like her. I'm sorry.
You too. Me too.
Oh.
So Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man issue number 4 versus the Thinker. And they make short work of the Thinker. Thinker kind of gets away in the end. But No, I'm sorry. I think it doesn't get away in the end. But you got J. Jonah Jameson trying to get a job back at the Daily Bugle, and Robbie won't give it to him because he had a TV show, and his TV show was all about controversy and bringing up, basing stuff off of hunches. He wants the facts. He says, if I bring you back now just to start your vendetta against Spider-Man again, you're going to take the Bugle broke. Unfortunately, Betty actually believes in Jameson this time and goes off with him. You've got Pete trying to deal with his sister because now the FBI is after them. He tries to pawn her off on, his dating friend right now. It doesn't work, nor does his stand-up. And now it's kind of like he goes back to his friend, what's his name? Mason. And what happens is the Vulture. I'm actually glad to see the Vulture because it was nice seeing Vulture in in the movie. So it's nice to see like a reimagining. It's not really a huge reimagining, but it's nice to see the Vulture again a little bit. We'll see where it goes. I mean, good book. This was definitely middle of my pile. I would say if I was rating all my books, this was like a midway book. I enjoyed it, but only bad thing is, but at the same time, I have to agree with what everybody was saying on Frontline yesterday. This girlfriend ain't taking shit. She's like, nope. I said the moment danger comes, no, we're done. And she stood by that. So I give her credit. Venom issue 154. Now, while Venom got a legacy numbering already, it's at, like I said, issue 154, it's not officially a Marvel Legacy book yet. So, like Invincible, like Totally Awesome Hulk, like X-Men Gold, this is a transition issue. When does Spider-Man come out on Blu-ray? I think sometime in October. I know the Superman movie, the 3-hour remade movie with Christopher Reeve, comes out in the beginning of October. I think it comes out towards the end of October.
When was that made an announcement?
Dude, we pre-ordered it months ago.
I don't remember.
I'll show you the cover. Maybe you'll remember when you see the cover.
Yeah, probably, because I don't remember.
So this issue is basically a glorified... I think it's the end of October, Brian, though. I believe it's the end of October. I know it's this month. This month coming up. Spider-Man, we have that pre-ordered. And Superman, we have that pre-ordered. Both of them are coming out this month. This month was a very light month for everything other than movies, cards, and games. There's not really anything this month.
Odyssey.
That's the end of the month. One game.
Well,
that's one compared to 4. I'm sorry. We're going off topic. Venom is a transition issue too. And what happens in this issue is you get to see more of the symbiote side this time instead of Eddie. You get to see the symbiote kind of its point of view on what's going on with Eddie and kind of going through the history a little bit. So for those of you that have no clue who Venom is, you have to be like a kid or somebody who's literally just getting into Spider-Man and not know who Venom is. But you go through the history of Spider-Man getting the costume, and then Lee, and then Scorpion. Scorpion. Lee is the guy that had the costume for a time before Eddie Brock. And then then he talks about Eddie. He talks about being with Flash, which is where he became a hero. And now
Agent Venom.
Yes. And now he wants to be a hero. He goes to see the priest, talks to him, apologizes because he says he was sick, maybe. And now we're going into Venom, the Lethal Protector, issue number 1. We are officially going into Marvel Legacy, starting with the next issue. I truly do hope they do not make the Venom face look like this, because this looks terrible.
Wait, let me see the Venom face. Oh, God, no.
Yes. But Venom, nice segue issue. If you know the history of Venom, unless you'd really like to, no, you know what? It's nice to get into the head of the symbiote every once in a while. Nice issue. Good issue. I'd say I'd keep it right next to Peter Parker. There you go. They're back to back.
Our viewers for Comic Frontline, so I'll keep this short. We have Luke Cage. I have actually. Luke Cage, issue number 5. And what this is really... See, this is what really shocked me. Like, we thought we were going to see Luke Cage versus Kevin from the Mafia. But he actually, after seeing what happened, actually didn't want to fight Luke Cage. And I was shocked, but in a way, I'm glad that they didn't fight each other. Just because they're the same people, they shouldn't really fight each other. And Kevin was indestructible, that's why. So we get a little bit of a background with Surreal, what's going on there. And we have the Doctor gets really pinpointed, like saying, you created all this, and it's like all your fault and this and that. And even the Doctor, Noah Bernstein, actually, he knows about this, but it's just, you know, between him and Luke Cage, it's just not working out very well. And of course, Caleb Cyril's son dies, and yeah, it was a real. This issue was really something else, but it was really awesome. Really loving Luke Cage, and I believe that I think after this is a new story arc because that's what it looks like. So we'll see how it goes there, but I'm really loving it.
What can't be said about Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows? It is the Spider-Man / Spider-Girl book that we all ask for, but Marvel decides, you know, whenever we say, you know, Superman and Lois got back together, why not Spider-Man? They just point you to this book and say, look, we're giving you what you want right here. It's an alternate universe, but anyway, Annie gets kidnapped.
Face with the book.
Annie gets kidnapped by the Rhino, and we all know it's because of Normie Osborn, but Liz, you see, is starting to want to, you know, take liberties against her son to stop him from becoming, you know, his father and his grandfather. Pete and MJ decide it's time. You know, we're pulling out all the stops. You know, I like the moment where Annie tries to talk Normie down and it doesn't work. Spider-Man beats the hell out of Rhino, which, if, like I said during Frontline Live, remember, he killed Venom because Venom threatened to destroy his entire family. And this doesn't surprise me at all. And Rhino obviously tells him where Annie was taken. Liz and MJ kind of pushed the envelope as well. Unfortunately, when Pete finds out where Annie is, it's already too late. Normie has made his choice to fall into darkness instead of fight for his happiness. While I don't really care now, see, this is where we differ. Tevia, I don't really care for the edgy Spider-Man because I feel like this Spider-Man would be willing to kill. And while Spider-Man has killed, I'm not saying Spider-Man is absolved from ever killing. At the same time, I feel like this Spider-Man would kill a lot faster than the 616 Spider-Man. And that's kind of what throws me off with this Peter Spider-Man. I really do wish they I really wish Marvel would fix Spider-Man, but they're so freaking proud up in the offices that they're just going to keep it going the shitty way it's going until they kick Joe Quesada. I wish Disney would wake up. Disney, everybody's getting remarried except your Peter Parker. Do you not like money, Disney?
It's time to remember the magic.
It's time to remember that they own stock and they can fire people. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not putting names out there. I'm saying they could literally say, fix it or pack up your shit and go home.
Now I got that song stuck in my head.
I mean, literally, they could tell them, pack up your shit and leave if you do not wish to do what the fans want and fix Spider-Man. Then Joe Q could either do one of two things. Fix his mess or go home and never come back.
You mean play hard or go home?
Miss Marvel, I enjoyed Generations one shot. Yeah, he'd go home and never come back.
Play hard or go home. That's the phrase.
Play right or go home.
Or play right and go home.
Miss Marvel, I enjoyed this. Now, I understand how, you know, when we talked about this on Frontline Live, it was either you loved it or you just liked it. I loved it. I liked that Kamala got thrown back in time. She ends up buying a dress, getting a job semi at the Daily Bugle, working with Carol as she's running this woman-run magazine and helping her fight not only to keep the magazine going, but as Miss Marvel helping out Miss Marvel. The pages, I don't know if nobody talked about this on Frontline Live, and I just kept my mouth shut because I really, you know, it was that we were talking this to death, but I don't know if anybody noticed, but the pages have a yellowing to it, like a bright orangey yellowing to it. If you notice, it's not white. They're not white pages, so it feels like you're reading an older comic. It's not until you get to the advertisement. See, now look, here's the advertisement page. That's pure white. When you're looking at these, it's like you got that like tinted yellow effect, like you're back in the 70s and the 80s, that 80s and 70s yellow page kind of feel. And I like that. I like that they did that. Now, obviously, you know, you like what Jay said. J. Jonah Jameson should be dead by now then. You know, Carol should be 60 years old. Marvel knows how long they've been around, and I honestly I chose not to not to pay attention to that. But like Jay says, I don't know what day of the week it is anymore anyway. So for me, it didn't matter. Now, I'm going to start with that book because that's usually my book. Nightwing, my worst pick of the week. Why? One story arc ended. This is Nightwing issue number 29. 9?
Yeah, 29.
Okay.
Because I read it too.
The story arc before this in 28 finished. Going into this, it is not new. It's not jump on friendly. You would have to have read Teen Titans. And even better, when this arc is over, it says to be continued in Suicide Squad. Oh, and then even better than that, after Suicide Squad, it's to be continued in your favorite book.
Green Arrow.
Green Arrow. So now we have to get...
unfortunately. Because
now we got to get Suicide Squad in order for Mike to read the continuation of the story in order for... Because we buy most of the books. The only book in this crossover that we don't get is Suicide Squad. Thank God I'm okay with Justice League. I didn't mind the crossover between Flash. Oh, and Flash I don't get either, but it's one issue. Flash, Justice League, and Green Lantern is going to be coming up soon, and that's another story that's part of Metal, but it's a crossover, and you can't just jump into Hal Jordan for 2 issues and be like, I know what's going on. No, you have to read Flash and Justice League, and it's at least a connecting cover. Are these connecting covers? No, I don't think they are.
No.
I don't think they are at all. So go ahead, Mike, because you read the story.
Yeah, but just wanted to show artwork before I began the review. And what this review is, it's just...
I do like the costume. I will point out I like the costume.
Nightwing?
Yes.
Yeah, Nightwing's costume is really awesome.
I don't know why they put him in a beard on the cover, though. He doesn't have a beard in the comic. See the beard?
Oh, yeah. I didn't
Unless that's supposed... Yeah, it's a beard. I don't know why they put him in a beard. He does not have a beard in the comic, by the way.
Anyway, this is mainly pinpointing to... Mr. Freeze, you know, how...
I like that. That's Sub-Zero Mr. Freeze right there.
Yeah, and how he got this was because of the metal that was given to him to become this Mr. Freeze. But meanwhile, Nightwing's also teamed up with Damian, Green Arrow, Harley Quinn, and Killer Croc. While the other members, which are the Teen Titans... They're doing their thing by getting rid or actually fighting off against the demonic Robins or Dark Robins, however, the Darkest Robin, however they said it. While the other people are trying to fight against Mr. Freeze. And it's really twisted in the end. Let's just say they have a lot of stuff on their hands in the Suicide Squad.
Okay, never mind.
Well, what'd you think?
I read Poison Ivy. I thought that was going to be Poison Ivy.
Oh, no. It's Welcome to Poison Ivy's Jungle. Because
that's the book I have to grab. I forgot I have to go to Midtown and grab that book. That's the book I have to order. Suicide Squad.
It's a tie-in.
No, I know, but I forgot.
I'm just saying it's a tie-in.
But I'm gonna want the physical issue just to have it so that we can continue the story. But you'll probably end up. I'm keeping. This goes in my pile. Well, we could read it digitally too.
Digitally is better.
Save money.
Adorable
Time, everybody. Oh, I'm glad you can still hear Kyle. Everybody get ready for Tevia's adorable couple, Super Sons, issue number 8. Trapped on an alternate world where the world is alive. And for some reason they got stuck there. And it's all because of that sorcerer, Krakalo. And I love the chemistry between Robin and John. They act like brothers. They really work together great as brothers. The moments between them are awesome. Whether they're teaming up, whether they're arguing, whether they're getting along, and like when John's like, "Do you think we're gonna get off this world?" and Damon's like, "Of course we are. We're gonna get out of here. No worries." And he's sitting there playing chemical science to make water so that they have something drinkable to have. And, of course, then the world attacks. We get the background on what happened to this world. And I like how John wants to believe maybe the Krakalo of this world was a good guy, and he believed that the magician on their world was a good guy, not realizing he was a bad guy. Really good. Really good stuff. I love Super Sons. I actually got, for those of you that didn't see the whole, go check it out. I actually did get the Super Sons figure set. I had that pre-ordered the moment it came out. Thank God, because I didn't pre-order Nightwing and Supergirl when they first came out, and now I can't get my hands on them. I don't need new comics, but I'm a sucker for Spiderman. What should I read? Or start picking up? I would say try, and I know Tevi will be like, no, but I'm going to tell you anyway. Try Amazing Spider-Man, starting with the Legacy numbering. Try Renew Your Vows, not the next issue, the issue after next. And I hear rumors that there's going to be another Spider-Man book soon. Also, Scarlet Spider is a really good book. I'd say trade paperback the first story arc. You'll understand when you read it. And then you could always single issue after that. Really good series also. There's a lot to read out there when it comes to Spider-Man. Venom's okay, but again, if you want Spider-Man, try the Legacy Amazing and Renew Your Vows, and try Scarlet Spider as well. Now, Batwoman issue 7, she ends up crash landing in a desert, and she keeps falling in and out of consciousness. We get her with Sophia, her with her other girlfriend, and then we find out she's kind of having these illusions. And by the way, these pages were cut wrong. I'm going to show you guys how I know they were cut wrong. Where is it? Is it at the top here? Or? No. There was a page where I saw that they cut it wrong because the advertisement was, maybe it was a different book. No, it had to have been this book. There was a miscut, and you could see that there was a miscut, and I'm not going to find it. I'm not going to sit here playing where the miscut come from. But anyway, in the end, we find out that she is a victim now of the Scarecrow, that she's been targeted. She's walking in this desert, and then she gets poisoned with fear gas. And now she is now a prisoner of the Scarecrow, to be continued. I don't know, this Batwoman story arc, we'll see where the next issue goes. This one kind of more weaker for me this week. Surprisingly, a little bit lower than usual, but there were a lot of good DC books this week, and that doesn't mean this wasn't a good book. This was actually a pretty good book. Anybody who wanted to see a Lois Lane story, here you go. Superman issue number 31. Lois takes on a really, really tough reporting case. She wants to report the story of Deathstroke, and that's what this book is about. Her finding Deathstroke, her getting Deathstroke's story, Deathstroke noticing that Superman shows up. You know, Clark is leery about Lois going by herself. Then he shows up, saves the day. She kind of gets a little annoyed at him, not really, sends him on his way. Deathstroke notices this and questions it. And then Superman, after Lois gets her story, she, of course, disappears and makes the story at the Daily Planet. And then she comes face to face with Deathstroke again, and we find out that she's a target. But I believe she's not a target. I believe that it's all a ruse to get Superman to show up because Deathstroke needs Superman. That's what I believe. We'll have to wait and find out. Cover is misleading also, by the way. This doesn't happen in the book.
I reviewed this on Frontline, and this was my book of the week. And now we'll go to Green Arrow, issue number 31. The Hard Traveling Hero, Part 6. And just to give you a briefie, it's just really Green Arrow who is fighting off against a Ninth Circle person. I can't remember the name. While Black Canary and Amico are saving this girl from the underground men of human trafficking. So artwork in this book, I would say it's drawn good. Like, here, I'll give you some of that. And there are other heroes who come to save Green Arrow and Green Lantern, because Green Lantern's fine. And
well, we knew that.
Yes, I want to show you one page that I liked, actually. I liked this page right here, where Metropolis Superman is, the Wonder Woman, then Flash, then Batman. And they come to save, with the whole media that's going on. And what I liked about the ending is that they offered Green Arrow a seat, but he said that instead of being a Justice League, he wanted to be a rogue operative, like a satellite agent and stuff like that. And then the next issue is now I believe this should have led to Teen Titans.
That is gonna lead into whatever the aftermath of Suicide Squad this week is.
Right, because that's gonna be a Time of Metal. So issue 32 will be a Time of Metal.
It's the grand finale of Gotham Protectors.
Yeah. Gotham Protectors, yeah. So
the Gotham Resistance? Well, it was Nightwing. Nightwing had the Sir title. Gotham Resistance, yep.
Yeah, because that was a Hard Traveling Hero.
I like how DC does all of these like surtitles at the top, so you know what story arc you're in. So you know the trade paperback for Green Lanterns involving issue number 31 will be out of time, and that's what they are, out of time. And Simon and Jessica try to really help, even though Volthoom is kind of out of control. They still try to help him. And Jessica really tries to help Volthoom a lot. But then the Guardians show up. They take the rings, except for Jessica's, because Jessica's wasn't part of the originals. And what happens is, you know, Volthoom is finally sane again. He swears, just like in the original books, he swears to get his revenge. And what happens is, because Simon and Jessica helped him, instead of making them stay there and have to deal with the Guardians, he uses his... he knows that Jessica's ring is a part of his travel lantern, and he sends them home. And then we get backstory on what happened from that point onward. And it also explains about the Green Lantern that was protecting the tomb all along. And, of course, he was holding on to his ring for Simon. Simon gets his ring back. He becomes a Green Lantern again. So Simon and Jessica now both have one of the original 6 rings, and now what has to happen is they're sent home by Rami, and Rami gets the other guy, to look for the other original rings and prevent Volthoom from getting his hands on them, because he's afraid that Volthoom will end up going crazy again, and he doesn't want Volthoom to have it. Now you have another one of my books, because this does not interest me at all, because it is
Trinity issue number 13. And the reason why is because the Justice League Dark's in it. And what was about this issue was that, you know, you have Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman who are dealing with the demonic Teen Titan. Not Teen Titan. Red Hood and the Outlaws. See what happens there? So they're fighting off against them, whereas John Constantine goes to... Pandora or something. I know I'm going to forget. Like she goes to Pandora's hideout somewhere, and meets up with Serge and Ra's al Ghul, and who they have captive is Zatanna and Deadman. So as Ra's al Ghul was about to kill John Constantine, he's like saying, "I could give you the Justice League. Boston Brand is your answer." So something that you didn't like seeing was when Boston Brand came to fight off against Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman. Someone gets possessed, and I don't want to show this page because it's very gross, but it was Superman. Yeah.
Disturbing. Very disturbing.
Oh, very disturbing, which is why I'm not going to show the cover. So, yeah. Good issue. I will be right back.
Batman? Yeah. Give me both. Give me both so you don't have to worry.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
All right, so we have 2 books left, obviously. Batman 31, or the book that will forever make me say every time I hear a Kite Man, hell yeah. So now the prelude where we got Kite Man's origin and him being enlisted by Riddler, we finally find out why Kite Man is so important. They had to take 2 whole issues to focus on him. So Riddler makes his attack on the Joker. And obviously we get to see Catwoman in her regular costume, which is definitely something that I liked. I like seeing her in her 90s or her 80s, 90s costume, a purple costume. So Batman gets the info on Joker. Now, Riddler doesn't want Batman to go in alone, and Riddler also doesn't want to go in with Batman alone. So he basically forces Kite Man to make all these kites for the whole team, and the whole team is going to go in there to take out Joker. They break in. Riddler kind of puts Joker down. Batman's like, he's had enough. You don't have to kill him, and that's where Riddler kind of 2 times Batman, and that's where Batman's like, I have plans within plans. And Kite Man, spoiler alert, was the plan within plan. He ended up putting a device in all of the Riddler's team members' kite that ended up sending them away. Lawhorn. What's up, Austin Lawhorn? What's going on, man? Welcome to the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review live show. And they get sent away. So now it's just the Riddler Joker, and Batman. Because Kite Man, hell yeah, gets punched out by the Riddler. And now everything that we've gone through, this whole war of riddles and jokes, the whole shebang that we've been reading about, finally, Batman says, when the three of us were alone, I did something, and if you could learn to forgive me, accept what I've done next, then and only then, you know, if you can marry me after you hear what I've done. So all of this, from the first issue all the way up till now, this issue, was built up for the moment where Batman made a decision that no one knows about except for the three men left in that room. That's going to be interesting. And that build-up better not be a letdown, because I swear to God, they've been building up that Batman did something. He did something so bad. And he's had it secret for so long. I don't care if it's something stupid. Make it something. Don't just make it Batman two-time, both of them, knock them both out. There needs to be something. Something. Kind of like, remember when they had Identity Crisis and it was the big shock that Zatanna erased Batman's memory of that moment? And then Batman remembered it, obviously, again. Give me something like that for the War of Jokes and Riddles, for the ending. Something like that, please. And then finally, we have Batman, the Red Death one-shot, which is basically a really nice chromium cover, by the way. Favorite cover of the week. It's Frank. What's up, Frank? I really like, these are going to be one-shots explaining the characters. They're character one-shots. They're really nice for the covers, number one. Number two, I enjoyed this. So in an alternate world in the Dark Universe, Batman, and this is kind of like the Dark Knight Batman, he's lost everything to Gotham, and now he wants to steal Barry's Speed Force in order to save the world because the world is crumbling. So basically, insanely, he kidnaps Barry and then basically fuses himself to Barry so that together they can basically be the Flash Batman and they can save their world. And that's where, of course, what's his name shows up. Barbados shows up. And I like how Wally's still in Bruce's mind telling him, don't trust this dude. And Barbados basically says, you want to save your world? Are you okay with destroying one? And then we go to the Earth Prime right now in DC. And we see that Batman, Flash, or Red Death ends up attacking Wally, New 52 Wally, and Iris. You've got our Barry coming back and fighting against him. Unfortunately, Barry's no match at this moment, and he gets taken away by Dr. Fate. And that's the end of the one-shot. The next one-shot, I believe, is... Next one-shot is... Murder Machine. So we're going to be getting a bunch of one-shots explaining the correlation between Batman and fill in the blank. This one was Batman and Barry, which created Batman Flash, or Red Death. I keep calling him Batman Flash, but he has a name, Red Death. So we'll find out more as these one-shots drop. I'm enjoying this definitely a lot more than I'm enjoying Venomverse. And with that, that is the end of this comic review. As always, guys, if you'd like to see more stuff on comics, more coverage, especially with Marvel Legacy dropping starting now, right now. Marvel Legacy's one-shot dropped today. If you want to see up-to-date coverage on Marvel Legacy, Batman, Dark Knight's Metal, and more, go check out comicfrontline.com, both the website and the YouTube channel. We have videos coming out, and going out each and every day. There's a rare occasion where we don't. We have 3 live shows every week. We've got Frontline Live, Media Madness, which happened tonight, and then Dark Avenger Live, which is our show at the end of the week, where we do random stuff. We talk about random stuff. If you're free, come by, come talk. We talk about anything, everything. We have fun. We have podcasts on there, like Zone 4 and It's a Podcast. Hit Points is on there. We got lots of stuff on Comic Frontline. Also on this channel right now, we are focusing on the Dark Avenger comic book review series only. And that's not because I don't want to do, not because, we have no ideas. We are working on many different channels connected to Comic Frontline. This channel is connected to Comic Frontline. We have a card opening channel, What the Card. We actually did our first video in 4 months We've been away. We went on hiatus for 4 months. We have our first video up right now. We ended up getting a Yu-Gi-Oh product early. If you'd like to see that, go check it out on What the Card. You like video games? My friend Firestorm, Rob, is really taking the helm over there right now, but I play on there as well. Go check out Frontline Gaming Zone. If you like video games, Comic Frontline is all for the rest of the stuff. And then right here, you got the Dark Avenger comic book review show each and every week, unless something happens, and then we'll just double up because we are not stopping. We are going. We are only 89 episodes away from 500, half of 1,000. And now, Alan, oh my God, my mod is here finally. Alan, you forgot about me, man. I'm sad. You showed up at the very end. I'm very sad right now, Alan. Alan, for those of you that don't know, he's a mod that's always watching my back or whatever. So I'm sure he was here quietly, but still, you got lots of stuff coming from all sides of the world with Zone 4. And if you like comics, speaking of, I write a comic known as Celestial Falcon. It's behind Michael's head. Right there. First issue's out now. Second issue is in the making right now. I've been, since you started, go, see? I told you guys, Alan's always watching, so you got to be nice, or else you never know. Alan will drop the ban. That's why, see, I told you guys, he's been watching since the beginning. He just watches quietly, so you never know. You got to behave, or else Alan will get you. But anyway, LastEmberPress.com is where you can find a lot of stuff going on, not just Celestial Falcon, but we have a lot of books at Last Ember Press right now. 529 Studios is connected. It's the imprint at Last Ember Press. If you're interested in buying that book or any of the books we've done thus far, Etsy.com/Last Ember Press. And if you are on Discord, Comic Frontline is on Discord. So go on Comic Frontline, the main page. There's a link to the Discord. Join us on Discord. We talk about everything on the Discord, from What the Card to video games to comic books to movies to TV to everything you can imagine and more. So till next time, everybody, take care, because this was a long-winded ending. Keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys really soon in the next video.
Bye, everybody.